going on, guys? Seth Morrison here again. This video is for my main channel. Um, so I've had a few people ask me, with my motorized bike and stuff, when I did have it before it got stolen, why I didn't do electric, and this is the reason why. Yes, electric bikes are more eco-friendly. They're easier to maintain in a sense. But there's a misconception with these electric bikes, so is if you don't know anything about motors or electric motors, wiring, diodes, electrodes, all that weird stuff that goes in with electric motors, you're constantly spending money you don't need. Um, and if the motor goes bad or if a diode goes wrong or something like that and the bike doesn't work, you're either having to take it in somewhere to have it fixed or just buy a whole new setup. Um, so that's kind of the reason I don't do the electric bikes. Like, yeah, the range isn't that good on them either, depending. Um, some of them are getting pretty good range, but with the way I run my bike, the range just wasn't good enough. And gas engines, I am more apt to work on. They're a lot more simplistic. People say they're more complex, but there's less electronic components. Um, so as I've stated in previous video, my last video, my bike was stolen. Um, I do have another frame and setup that's identical to the last bike. I just don't have a motor kit yet, which I am going to be working on here in the next couple weeks. But that's just going to be something that, it has to take kind of a back burner on that because I have other bills that are more important. Rent, lights, internet, things like that. Until then, I can walk my happy ass wherever I'm going. But I do think the two-stroke bikes especially are the easiest. They do take more maintenance than the four strokes, but that's something that I like. I like working with my hands. I It helps me when I'm feeling down. It helps me when I'm feeling manic. It helps me just in general. It takes my mind off the stresses of the everyday world. Um, so yeah, and as you see, I'm vaping. I have been for a while. I'm going to try to quit cigarettes again. Can't tell you how many times I've tried that, and it's not as easy as most people think. Um, but yeah, so when I do get the new motor kit, I do plan on doing an install video from start to finish, or maybe break it in parts and release it throughout the week. I haven't decided yet, but it's all going to be filmed in one shot because once I start building it, I'm not going to want to stop. I do have a mock-up motor right now that if I ordered the parts, I could get it to work. But the only downside is the cost of ordering all the extra stuff to get the kit to run is going to end up costing me more than just buying a whole kit. So the reason I have a mock-up motor is I ordered for my last one an exhaust and carburetor setup. I wanted to see how it was going to fit on this current bike. So the kit that I buy, I may just rob the parts off of the top end for this one and like the clutch and things like that. So that way I can use the heavier duty mounting hardware because this one's got 3/8 studs, whereas most your typical engine kits come with a 1/4 inch. Those break usually pretty easily. The 3/8 don't break as yet. I haven't broken any yet. That doesn't mean they're not possible to break. But I will have to lengthen the rear studs to put a spacer in between the seat post and the already original spacer because the carburetor has one of those cone filter things like you'd see in a K&N filter. Granted, they're not K&Ns. I'm not saying it's that quality by any means, but that style. I have to move everything forward so that's not riding on the seat post. And the seat post even leans back. It comes up and then goes back off because it's a hyperframe. So that's going to be something that I got to kind of try to work out. And also, too, I want to get the carburetor bowl a little more level. I think the reason I was going through so many heads or piston rings and everything before is the carburetor was tilted just a little bit, causing flow issues with the fuel. Things like this I can work on. You give me an electric bike, soldering iron, diodes, wires, it right over the top of my head. So that's it for today. Sorry I haven't posted in a while. Things have just been kind of hectic. I'll discuss more of that on my other channel. Alrighty, thanks guys.